Welcome back. You're still watching the breakfast show. Minister of Youth and Sport, Ashraf Sobhi, held a meeting with the Dr. Rosha Saad, the Secretary General of the Education Development Fund affiliated to the Cabinet at the administrative capital, to discuss the ways to empower the youth for the labor market and the entrepreneurship in cooperation between the Ministry and the Fund. And to shed more light over this issue, we are delighted to have over the phone Dr. Mohaymen, the Human Development and the Logistic Expert. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning. How are you doing?
How are you? I'm fine. What is the current gap between the labor market requirements and the youth skills in this period?
Well, from my point of view, I think the current gap is in the lack of technical skills and soft skills, in the lack of skills in general. So for specific skills like data analysis, digital marketing, prompt engineering, and so on. For the soft skills, I think the gap is in the communication, teamwork, problem solving. So from my point of view, I think the gap is in the lack of skills in line with the market needs.
Well, talking about the demands of the market and of course talking about the experience of the youth when it comes to the practical life in general, how, or in other words, how can we provide more opportunities for the youth to be on the track for the demands of the market, taking into consideration the technical education as well?
Well, I think there's a lot of things that could be done in such a matter. So the first thing I think is building exposure. And if I would say, or if I would give an advice to the young generations, I would tell them to build exposure, to start applying for internships, to start in participating in some student activities. So first of all, they need to get a hands-on experience in line with the market needs. This is the first thing. The second thing, I think it should be by fostering an environment that promotes mentorship, that promotes, I think it promotes as well the, from my point of view, I think it promotes that the art training and so on. So this is my point of view. I think there's a lot that can be done in this matter. I think it all rounds around equipping students with the necessary skills in line with the market needs.
Okay, Doctor, what are the most prominent challenges facing the young people when entering the labor market?
Well, I think there are three main challenges that are facing the youth nowadays. The first thing is the post-pandemic economy, and I think we all see the prices have gone up, the inflation and so on. So this is really hard, and it's really getting on the companies and to hire talent. So it's really hard for companies to hire talent nowadays. This is the first thing. The second thing is the high competition. I believe we have around 700 and something thousand graduates every year. So it's like a 15% increase in the job market, in the number of graduates. So this builds a high competition. It's really hard for talent to compete nowadays. It's much harder than before. So the high competition is the second thing, along with the economy. And the third thing is the lack of experience needed. A lot of graduates nowadays, they don't have such an experience that can compete with the labor market. So those are the three things. If I would sum them up, I would say the post-pandemic economy, the high competition, and the lack of experience.
Right, and talking of course about the role of the private sectors, the civil society, when it comes to the new generation and how this can help them and add to their practical experience. How far do you see this role?
Okay, so I think first of all, we should equip with specific skills in the demand in the labor market. So we should provide as well hands-on experience that can lead to job opportunities. But from my point of view, if we're speaking about civil society, I would say we should emphasis on providing valuable resources like training programs and career consulting and mentorship platforms for all the youth, which can build a good pool of talent that we can use in the force. And if I may use this call to promote on something, I would say that the Egyptian talent is one of the best talents out there. So we can leverage such a talent, we can use it, we can even export it to other countries, as this could be one of our best pillars that we have in our country.
Well, Doctor, how can the government develop the policies that support the young people in achieving their career aspirations?
I think the government is already doing a great job in fostering a good environment, by the way. We all see the implementation of the youth forums. We all see the increase of the number of the youth representatives in the parliament. So the government is already doing a great job. Yes, there's a lot of improvements that could be done. It might be on the agenda, but from my point of view, it would be more about getting in the entrepreneurship ecosystem more. I think we could build policies like financial incentives for companies that hire young workers, for example. And I think there's a lot can be done in creating platforms for mentorship and networking for young people. This can be done. However, I think the government is already have a plan in fostering such a good environment for young talents in the future.
Well, the Egyptian leadership actually is giving much attention to vocational training, and we have seen many of the successful actually institutes like the Don Bosco and many others taking good care of the new generation when it comes to the vocational part. So how far can this fill the gap and just change the future or the image of the future when it comes to the demands of the market?
Well, for example, if I could say, or if I could talk more about the vocational training, I think it's already a great initiative that the government is building. I think it can help in equipping more individuals with a specific skill in demand with the labor market. I think we can provide as one more practical hands-on experience that can lead to immediate job opportunities.
Okay, Doctor, in the light of the digital transformation and the artificial intelligence in general, how do you see the future of the labor market in the light of these 2 points specifically?
To be honest, I'm optimistic. Many people are saying that the artificial intelligence would take away jobs. No, for me, I think it would provide more jobs. If we're talking more about the future of the labor market in line with the AI, I would say we would see a lot of growing demand for tech savvies, for tech professionals. I think as well, a lot of jobs will be created, like prompt engineering, like a lot of stuff. And I think as well, the jobs would be more efficient. So instead of an HR representative, for example, we would see a job more focused. If I'm talking about the HR, instead of seeing admin work, I would say that the HR will focus more on building environments instead of just doing admin work, instead of doing a lot of paperwork. So the jobs would be more efficient, and there would be a lot of demand for the tech representatives.
Well, actually the demands of the market are changing rapidly, and we have seen many of the new universities that were opened even in the new capital. Actually they are adding the new majors to just to cope with all the challenges that we are facing. So if we are talking about the new generation and how can we work on these youth actually since they are students, and we have seen many or the majority now of the universities, they are adopting projects and they are graded actually to prepare them for the demands of the market and to get ready for what they are expecting.
What I really like about the leadership that they are taking a really good step in changing the direction of the educational system. They are fostering an environment that promotes such a creativity, such a good system or a good education system to help the youth more get in the or to help the youth more get jobs in line with the job market. But from my point of view, I think we should promote the concept of lifelong learning. This is really important. I think we can encourage them to seek new experiences, and it all rounds on the adaptability, because the job market is rapidly changing. So what needs to be done from the universities is to implement an adaptable mindset to the youth, to focus more on critical thinking and focus more on data analysis as well.
Well, Doctor, excuse me, what the skills should the young people acquire to keep pace with the rapid changes that is going in the labor market?
Number one, high sense of adaptability.
Okay.
Number two is critical thinking, data analysis, and communication collaboration. Those 5 things are the most important things that anyone should have.
Right, and how can we work on these skills? I mean, they can attain it by studying, by focusing on this. Well, recently, actually, these skills or these items you have just mentioned have been taken into consideration even in schools, and they were graded or...
Exactly.
Yes. So tell us more about how can we work on this?
Well, from my point of view, I think it's all about building exposure. Number one, we need to switch our mindset, especially for the young generation. We can see a lot of memes on the internet saying that how can I be a fresh graduate and have experience? Well, from my point of view, I think this could be done, and this is really easy. So number one, you need to work from school or you need to work from universities. It doesn't have to be like a normal job or a full-time job. But you build your own exposure. You can apply for some internships. You can get hands-on experience from student activities, and you can work on part-time jobs along with your studies. Those are really important in order for you to be prepared to the job market. I'll tell you what, I worked in multiple multinational companies. The number one thing that we focus on is the edge. As I told you before, we have a lot of talent, and the competition are really difficult. The competition is really difficult by all means, so you have to build an edge. We are all thinking about the one question: why should we hire you? We have, for example, hundreds of people applying for the same job. So what makes you stand from the 99% or from the 99 people that is applying for the same job? So what makes you stand is the exposure, is the experience that you got from university or from school, and from the situations that you have been in that can help you grow.
Okay, Dr. Mohaymen Bayoumy, the Human Development and the Logistic Expert. Thank you so much for joining us on the breakfast show today on TV International.
Right, and I guess with this we come to the end of our breakfast show for today. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and have a good day, Nashwa. Have a good day, as you do.